Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to pre-order upcoming Force of Will sets, ccgprime.com for singles and supplies, cardodoko.com for those rulers in the international market looking for product, the Ruler School Circuit Series now taking orders on our Q1 2025 Skibdis Circuit Kits, and to our guest lecturer members, Bite Ramen and Casey Madden. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers. Welcome back after a long year of Force of Will to your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast. It's Office Hours, featuring myself, DMO73, and I'm joined, as always, for the last time in 2024, by Paul Reisman.
Because I'm dying in 2 days.
That's very sad. And Mike Rance.
Paul Smash, Jeremy Smash, next.
There we go. Perfect. We are here. So glad you all joining us for this happy new Fow Year's Eve, even though it's not New Year's Eve, but it's our last podcast, so we're kind of going through the motions as if it were the end of the year. As always, if you like what we're doing, want to consider supporting us, you can click that link in the description to join us as a member, get access to all kind of cool perks there. You also can take part in the starting last week weekly tradition of trying to force me to put on the old gloves through super chats. That goal is now currently live on the channel, so if you want to torture me for the next hour, there's that for you. And also, you can check out the links in the description for the Force of Will Festival information, FileFest and GP, and also the Skibdis circuit kits for 2025, the first kit of 2025, the last chance to earn points before FowFest in June. So, guys, it's
good old Skibidus toilet.
Get your skibidi toilet, Matt.
Stop. Please stop. This was what I was worried about when we made it a Skibdis playmat.
Unfortunately, it's a really good looking artwork. So
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, it was a problem. So, 2024, pretty big year for Force of Will, ups and downs. We saw the, end of 2023 into 2024 was when we got to see the resurgence of the Masterpiece collections. So it was kind of our first year with the Masterpiece sets, which was very, very cool. We just stepped into Trinity Cluster and got some got a full cluster, once again, kind of reintroduced to the idea of like solo traditional ruler play again for a long time.
Thank God.
Which has been a lot of fun. And then cool new characters, cool new world, events of all kinds, online events, in-person events. No FowFest this year, but we did see the launch of the Force of Will circuits, the Ruler School circuit kits. So, I mean, it's been... I think it's been a pretty great year. I've been pretty proud of it, what we've accomplished here in the channel. We kind of set out this year, especially with the circuit kits and everything else, kind of really trying to change the level of involvement for Ruler School in terms of the projects that we were trying to do. We got more people on the vodcast this year than previous years, kind of special guests, new topics, did some pretty cool collaboration stuff that we're still kind of finalizing some on, got some new projects in. But I'm curious for you guys and for in the chat, what have been some kind of big takeaways for you guys this year with Force of Will?
Mike?
I mean, for me, it's the fact that Paradox format has been interested in playing Force of Will competitively again.
Okay. That's awesome. I like that.
There you go.
He also hung up a Tagris banner. That was something he did in 2024. Look at that.
That's true. I did have a Wilson banner, but I need to get better command hooks because the ones I had were old.
Yeah. Game good, people picky.
Game good, people picky.
Jeez Louise, what a mantra. Isn't that just? Mike, I'm surprised I'm surprised that you didn't talk about the fact that Deepwood Force of Will made content for the first time in 3 years.
If you can call that content.
I mean, very on brand with Deepwood's previous content. I think you hit the mark, right?
I truly did.
You made 2 videos. Two videos.
Count them. 2 videos.
Hey,
and one of them was absolutely a throwaway, but it was a lot of fun, and I just had a really good time with it. Again, I'm taking no questions on my choices in that video. The second one, again, still trying to play with the format of like this like whole PowerPoint presentation, quick slideshow reel type deal, which I had a lot of fun making. Honestly, I'm probably gonna do more of them once I figure out, other things to talk about because I like talking about my deep good Mike Woody. Oh yeah, you know it. But yeah, once I figure out more content and more ideas for what would make a good like quick 5 to 6 minute PowerPoint presentation, I'm making more of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. It was fun to watch. They were fun to watch. And again, I think that it was very interesting that you put forward the Cheshire Cat's assistant OTK as the like first one, because I legitimately remember, I have memories of being in my previous house, seeing this interaction, talking with Rob A. Bear, the previous TO for North America, sitting down and being like, we have to tell the company about this now. And so I legitimately recorded footage with a screen grab using Lackey CCG
God.
to try to
my
explain why this combination of cards should not be made legal on release, that it was a problem on release, that this would be the format. And I sent that footage to the company, and then we got the card like banned like on release. I was like, thank God, because I did not want to play that format at all.
Oh my gosh, that was oh my god, Cheshire Cat Assistance was a mistake. It's so funny because I ate my words immediately after the video came out, because when I recorded it, it still was not shown that assistance was on the reworking protocol.
Yeah.
So I just, the last slide in that is entirely bogus.
Yeah. Yeah. Paul, what about you, bud? What have been some of your, and let us know in the chat too, let us know in the chat what your kind of big moments of 2024 were for sure as well.
I would say I went into this year really interested in Masterpiece because I did not play Grim Cluster. I came in during SKL format. So getting to look at those rulers a little bit differently was really cool. And one of the coolest decks I got out of that time was the Seer Christie deck that Derek Mugwaneza put together, and I got to mess around with that for a little bit. And that was kind of super fun. And then just seeing like that deck evolve at our local level was really cool. So I was like, okay, so I get the old school appeal of this like first set, and like what really made Force of Will special in this first set was like very much still on display. So it was kind of cool to engage with the game in that way that I hadn't before. I would definitely say Paradox for me is up there as well. I spent, gosh, I don't know how much, like, I jumped right into making staples lists for Paradox format, and it was super fun to be like, huh, this card is technically not banned in Paradox right now. So we get that back? Weird. So like Conflict of Memory and Soul and stuff. And just trying to like get into the company's head and think about like, okay, like what cards would be banned and what would not be banned, right?
I think Paradox format, from what I understand of the floor rules, that as of right now it holds the same ban list as Wanderer. Alejandro's in the chat. I think that probably when we see Masterpiece 2 drop, the Paradox ban list will like be drastically shifted and be different. But I think as it stands right now, Paradox, if you're trying to play Paradox right out the gate, it currently contains the same ban list as Wanderer. Alejandro's in the chat and can confirm for us, so maybe that's right.
Yeah, please do that if you're able to.
Let's get some Alejandros in the chat, everybody.
Get some Alejandros in the chat, which for all intents and purposes will just be Violet.
No, it's Umir. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It is.
The Umir is 100%. Is 100% Alejandro. Alejandro's the thinking top hat guy.
Oh, gotcha.
We need a first line. We need a first line emoji.
Yeah, first line.
Now that we know that,
Yeah.
I was happy to see um there were parts of the reworking protocol that I thought were really, really interesting in terms of like bringing certain cards back that I didn't think would ever come back. Things like Spirit of Decay, which I think is really good for some of my, shenanigans with Athenia and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So there were some cool things around that stuff. The ABC decks coming out, really cool to see that product finally
Yeah.
get released and that format really taking off. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, those are probably my biggest things.
Yeah. I th-
A lot of really cool rulers this year too.
yeah. I think for me, like the biggest takeaways have been at least, getting to like I even getting to understand better where people are playing Force of Will, I think was a lot of fun for me. I straight up just started calling stores that were like on the old like Force of Wind or Foul Library like site when we started doing stuff like that, like the old pins on the World of Foul. I just started calling stores. And so it was cool to be able to like chat and kind of understand the network a little bit better. I also say that the launching of Ruler School TCG this year was kind of big. Like we really like came into that. We're still working on it. It's still got we're still slowly getting the full database of all the tournaments that have ever been held in their top 8 lists posted on the website. But like to have that kind of different presence has been cool. And then, the circuit kits and like the honor of being awarded an official Grand Prix now as like a big accomplishment in 2024. Getting to do Worlds again. I will say a huge blast of nostalgia to go back to the Maple Inn Makuhari Hango for Worlds again. I competed in that venue twice. I helped record in that venue once. I have helped commentate in that venue multiple times. Um, just a lot of memories came back getting to go back to that venue, so that was a lot of fun. And getting to go back to Worlds with everybody and the new people especially, and see them all experience that was a lot of fun too. um King Pearlshine in the chat saying getting to go back to 3 FOW events in person thanks to the circuit kit specifically. Yeah, that was the point. Getting people to go play Force of Will again in person, giving stores a cool way to entice players to come and play in events, I think has been really fun. I agree on the reworking protocol. I think, I'd give the reworking protocol a score of like, I think overall, if we're talking purely like the changes to the cards, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. I think in terms of actual implementation and like execution, I think when you factor in all of those elements, I still give it like maybe a 5.5 or a 6 out of 10. And some of that is like cultural elements, and some of that I think is like how the reworking protocol was first presented or how it got laid out by some people. Some unexpected twists. But I mean, it's still a positive. Like it could have been worse. Like it could have been way worse. So I think there's always an element with me where I always try to look on the positive side of things. The good old DMO 737 out of 10s. That's me. You know. Um.
This is fine.
Yeah. Um. I think he's making TCGs. I think one of the biggest things that I think has stood out to me so much in this year over waves has been, I think, a little bit of, unfortunately, just one of the biggest challenges of 2024, I think, has been trying to inspire a optimist outlook over a pessimistic outlook from within the community. I think that's been one of the big challenges of this year. And I think, so that's been interesting. And as we go into 2025, I'm curious to see how that continues forward. I think Paradox format can do a great deal of that for some of those people. So that's interesting to me. And obviously we'll do what we can here in on Ruler School as well to kind of continue to bring forward that positive optimist outlook as opposed to anything else.
And if you want chaotic neutral, come to Deep with Force Will, I guess now.
Yeah, for sure. Chaotic neutral has a place as well. Or you just keep coming to this podcast because I keep inviting you back. So
That's
like,
true. Yeah, I am definitely the chaos that comes in this podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Biggest non-takeaway is the 3D printed armor I made to slot in your 5 swords in the chest armor and Olga in the helmet. That's hilarious. That's really funny.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Let's see. I will say that my internet slogan is not God. I don't know what FWIW is the abbreviation of. For what it's worth, I just realized that now. For what it's worth is probably what that stands for.
Yeah.
Optimism in the discourse has helped me because you tend to be really pessimistic, and I'd still be fuming over Carlina and Arc. I get that for sure. Like I said, some of them have been hit or misses, and I think I even went on the when we started the whole reworking protocol. My perspective on the thing was, we got the errata announcement and shown Carlina. Then 2 weeks later, we were told about the reworking protocol, and we still weren't actually shown any of new Carlina's support. So the on ramp to the whole infrastructure of the reworking protocol was just, again, that what I would call a miss, right? So it has
something very important to note. I do want to bring this up, frankly. I don't want to talk too much about the reworking protocol, obviously, because
it's
everybody said everything about it.
Yeah.
I've already said my piece with it.
Yeah, for sure.
But just a quick reminder: if you don't like the way that the cards are done on the reworking protocol, you can play old formats with the old versions of the cards as long as everybody at the table says that's fine.
It's true.
Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
Wait, no, you. What?
Come on, Paul. You got this. Go on.
How would you do that, Mike? If I wanted to, how
use the old cards?
Would I just use the old card? How would I do that?
Use the old cards.
So there's this thing called getting cards that are older
and
playing them.
Crazy. Anyway, so 2024, I think for me has brought out, I think one of the the really fun things about 2024 has been how much I have, while hating, simultaneously enjoyed how much I have had to take apart and put together decks that feel so different from one another. 2024 has felt like I have gotten to play Force of Will in so many different ways that I have in previous years, and that has felt rewarding to play it those different ways. I mean, I even joked about the fact that Trinity Cluster's secret hidden mission was to try to get Jeremy to play a red ruler every single set. And we all know I can't play red to save my life, but I just built another one today, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Truly, I think this year really got me to enjoy not just sticking to ho-hum green-black control good stuff. I really do feel like I got to explore the entire scope of what Force of Will type decks exist, and that's been really fun for me. I really liked it. So in that regard, Trinity Cluster has been a huge success. Plus Masterpiece 01 has been a huge success for that. So that's very fun. Truck format, new meta. Yeah. So I mean, I guess it goes without. One thing I would be remiss to not say is that one of the biggest accomplishments this year was that I now exist in the game of Force of Will. Getting to be the voice of Bianchi in the game itself is really cool.
Yeah,
just
still not over it.
Just really cool. In fact, today I ordered stuff for my Bianchi cosplay. Just today I ordered more stuff for it.
Jeremy's becoming a furry.
No, it's a humanoid version. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but
a wolf man pretending to be a human.
Shush.
He's a wolf wear.
I'm a warehouse.
A wereman.
house? Is that a house where things are stored inside of it, or
Or a man who
person that
it's a
becomes
man who
house?
it's a man who turns into a house at a full moon.
Now it is.
So like
Where Fox?
this is
Oh, I love it.
this has been a really fun year of getting to, I mean, interact with the company in a way that I really haven't done before, interact with the community in a new way in the TO realm, interact with content. We like tried new things this year with content. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Progression series. Some of them did not end up carrying water. But we tried stuff. Like 2024 was a year of new experiences, new trials, new things, new players, and new people getting in, new conversations and stuff. It's a house that becomes a wolf with the full moon. Yeah.
Wait,
sure.
no, that's still just a werewolf.
Hello, Likaru. Glad to have you here. And like seeing the new people and returning people come back this year has been really exciting and fun. And yeah, it's just overall, it's been a positive year. It's been a very positive year.
Yeah.
Not without ups and downs, like not without drama, not without things that we wish could have been better. But like, you know, I still think that coming from, you know, I think back of our time playing previous TCGs, my time playing previous TCGs, and like with all the ups and downs of this year, it's still a vastly much more engaging, rewarding, and enjoyable time in a card game than I think I've ever had in any other game that I played. And so in that realm, I think that 2024 was a success. Like, I'll call it.
Yeah. Can we just talk about how like blue has been consistently good this year as like a color?
The year of water.
Like, wow. We got all of these really strong water cards through Masterpiece, some really good water reprints, and then we got Mirror, Mirage Spirit, Hydria, Zaki's new plan, a couple of really good water rulers.
Yeah, some too good.
That stayed within color. Some too good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, they took the joke color and made it good.
Yeah.
Blue's no longer a meme. Oh my god!
Oh
What
my
is
God.
this?
This is also the year that I would
Oh
argue
my
that we
God.
got. This is also the year that I would argue we got the first ever truly felt reasonable like alt win con decks that don't feel like a meme. And one could argue that there is an element of Wolfgang 2 that was like alt win con, but it was still like combat driven alt win con.
Yeah.
Like it's still like you hit them.
It was basically playing poison counters in Force.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like it's still combat. Like it's very big combat, one time hitting them, but it is still combat driven. Whereas this year has felt like the first time we've ever gotten like actually a deck that's designed to deck your opponent out, like as its core game plan. And we also got Viola, right?
Wait, Jeremy, real quick, I want to shout out D'Angelo Waring in the chat, saying it's the first year they were able to get new people to play the game and it felt good. I would love to hear more about how that went down. Like who you guys got playing.
Hold on, my computer just decided that it wanted to close the page that had my chat in it. That was very strange.
Nice. That's the best.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
But D'Angelo, we definitely want to hear about how you got new players into the game and what other
This
players
is
can
the
learn
year.
from you.
This is the year that Mike's internet stabilized.
Kind of. Mostly.
Shut up, Paul.
Mostly.
Don't speak that into the world. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Nothing is gonna go wrong with Mike's internet.
Oh
Tonight.
my!
Can't do that.
It's not gonna happen.
I'm on the 5G right now. This is better work.
I am putting all my chips into this.
Yeah, so like, you know, Zaki with clues, Viola with her heart attack. I'd argue that it's like whether you're playing Alex Sands to stun or Giotto stun, you can play to deck your opponent out. Like that can be the win con. right? Like you can just play to try to deck your opponent out, which I think is very neat. Last internet crash of the year. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff there that I think has been fun and introduced in the game state. A lot of CR changes. Some good, some necessary, some mid. You know, things new here. Just wondering if I can get the channel links of your podcast friends so I can consume some content. Here, that they here.
Hey.
Deepwood Force of Will is another place, but again, Mike has produced 2 videos in the span of 2024, so really just here.
Hey.
Um,
And one of them is not even a video, but it's content if you want to consume that.
yeah.
It's content.
Yeah, it's content.
D'Angelo brings 5 decks and playing Digimon on the weekends. That's so smart.
Yeah,
Love that.
I just recently sleeved up all of the ABC decks and keep them in a box at our locals now, so that I can just be like, does any Commander player have any interest in trying this? Cool, try it.
Wait, Robert Green, what do you mean just by enforcing CR changes this week? Did Steven do another thing that forced
This
the
year,
CR
I think it
change?
just says this year. I think just.
Oh my god! I'm like 2 in 1 year. 2024
No.
really is just fine format.
Yeah, no. You know, and as we look forward to 2025, I think we can kind of transition here. We've got some big things on the horizon there. So I'm curious your guys' aspirations with Force of Will 2 and those in the chat. 1, FowFest 2025 is now a GP, Force of Will Festival and GP. So like that's a new big responsibility that I really want to live up to and put on a great show for everybody. A personal goal of mine is to have Force, and obviously this is super dependent on all of you, but I would love Force of Will to be the first in-person event in like 4 years to break 100 players. Like that would be a dream come true for me if we can break 100 and have that be like the first event in like since pre-COVID to break 100 players. That would be a dream come true for me. We've got some big collabs that we're working on. I would like to try to do more collabs. Like I'd like to try to reach out to try to do more of them. If at all possible, you know, branch out to other games and other creators and kind of reintroduce them. I think that's something I'd like to try to do. Figure out how we're going to do coverage of Paradox format, you know, while also doing Wanderer stuff. Potentially bring on a new recording team to do stuff.
Oh, Robert Green's saying, yeah,
Ooh.
Red Zone Road posting a foul video for the first time in like years.
That was because of me.
Yeah, I know.
That's
crazy
It
though.
was, like, weird.
Yeah,
I made this video weird.
yeah.
No, that's crazy to see him doing it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
great.
I 2025 I think is the year that I would really like to just do what I can to remind people that Force of Will is here and get them talking about it outside of the typical Force of Will channel. Like I think that's kind of the theme of my overall goal this year is to just make Force of Will a conversation topic outside of the traditional Force of Will circles. Like that's one of my biggest goals. And so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Probably for me, 101 videos, more of those. I've got a long list of ones that I would like to make, and I kind of took a break because the game was changing so much that I was like, all right, let's just sit back and let all these changes happen. Meanwhile, I'm going to get super busy, so I can't do those anyway. But yeah, I think in the next year, like, we're going to have to do a lot of conversations around, like, mulligan math and what Paradox format looks like and how deck building has changed.
That's true. It's very true.
I'm very interested in Paradox content.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for new frontiers.
Just Paradox.
The newest frontiers.
Newest
yeah,
frontiers.
Gotta remake that vid.
Travel.
Gotta remake that vid then.
The rules that Smash Push the pass on. No, my my take on who is smashable and who's passable does not change.
based on paradox
It
format.
is no, definitely not.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
not.
For sure.
It stays.
I think there's an element for us that is, obviously with more GPs, we've got more travel, which I think brings an interesting position for the channel of wanting to maybe inspire the next, not necessarily taking over because I'm not going anywhere, but inspire a new generation of content creators to find their voice. Because Paul can't travel with me to every event. But I need guest commentators. And so it would be really awesome
West Coast, baby.
it would be really awesome based on where the locations are to use our platform to inspire people to take up making content, and find their voice within the community and get recognized for doing that kind of stuff. Like that.
Remember, everybody, if I can do it, so can you. I have no talent.
Yeah. And then, I just think play more decks, revisit Lapis Cluster. I think I'm really excited to revisit Lapis Cluster. Finish a new cosplay. I haven't done a cosplay in a few years, so that's exciting. Just continue to play decks, try to play Fow more. I don't know. It's exciting. 2025 is an exciting year. Mike, what about you? Do you have any goals for 2025 with Force Will? What did I call that? Our New Year's Fowsolutions instead of resolutions. Is it Fowsolution?
You really forced that one.
Yeah, I did. I
really
did. I really did force of will that one. Yeah, I did. It was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. No, my main goals are to blow up and then pretend like I don't know nobody. No, for real, Deepwood Force Will, make more content for it, make more of these PowerPoint videos. Probably more memes somewhere thrown in there. You guys can expect some garbage, the usual. Paradox format once becomes a real thing, probably going to give that some attention. I'm going to see if I can find some time to go to FowFest. I'm already taking a whole lot of PTO days this year with a whole bunch of travel, which sucks, and I hate it. And then if Jeremy is doing commentary on West Coast tournaments, I will literally be driving over there just to be there for him. Those are my resolutions.
Ricardo Coelho played a few games. Played just a few games this year. At first, I felt overwhelmed with the amount of mechanics and keywords, but I also thought it was the coolest thing I've seen this year. Awesome. That's great.
That's it. Yeah,
that's great.
If you can parse through the essays on these cards and find out what the relevant mechanics are, it's very easy to play.
It honestly is. It's just like really rewarding too. I joke about the fact that Force of Will is Decision Trees the card game, but I really enjoy the puzzle that is Decision Trees the card game. Like, it's very satisfying to play.
That's why I'm very excited for Paradox format, because that puzzle of what does a limited play style mean in terms of deck building.
It's a different challenge. It's a different challenge. I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a little bit too, because Paul and I have already started talking about like what Paradox versus Wanderer will look like with some few tweaks. So we'll get to that too as well.
Very important Kisu. Entirely new to this game, still finding the process of finding cool rulers. If you want to know which ones are smashable and passable, I put a link to Deepwood up above. Just use that as a guide.
You're not, like, there's so many cool rulers. There's so many cool rulers in this game. I mean,
some of them are hot.
I think that there's a lot this year, especially, I think has brought it has felt like old school FOW with like rulers having a core concept to them in a way that we haven't had in a long time. And much like back in old Force of Will, some of those core concepts were good and some of those core concepts were trash. Like, competitively, right? Let me say that for sure. Even way back in the beginning, the glory days, the golden age, right? Some of the rulers, their core concept, what they were trying to play to was just bad. Was just bad. But like, it was there.
Tell me one person who played Mars. Tell me one person who played Mars. Go ahead. Tell me.
Pete at my locals.
Shut up, Pete.
we had rulers back then who were so close to being good, but then had bad grammar on them, so they were bad. Cough, cough, CL, cough, cough. That ruler was like 2 seconds away from being insanely good. And then they were like, but what if, if that, hear me out, because I've talked about this before. If you look
each trigger was separate, it would have been good.
If each independent trigger had been a separate thing instead of one whole ability, Seal would have been absolutely competitive. But because you could cancel everything she did with a single Lorite, it was like, this is trash.
Oh, that's a nice Seal you got there. Well, right.
Yeah.
Right then.
So, Glorious, D'Angelo hoping to make content this coming year. That's awesome. Anything that anyone can do to help people make content, for sure. Glorious being viable has made you happy. Played good decks, a lot of operator error. Still have the old decks. Robert Green, top 8 and an invite. And my other one is finishing. You've got 2 goals for 2025, top 8 invite, and the other is finishing working your ABC decks. Some skeletons to start with the structure decks. That's awesome. Yeah. There's a lot of cool things, to do with. Oh, thank you.
Ricardo, the gloves go on. The gloves go on.
The goal isn't met, but I'm gonna honor that super chat with the gloves.
I don't care. Put the gloves on.
I'm literally doing it right now. They're on. they're on. I think there's got some cool stuff there in terms of acquisition with some cool cards. I think one of the goals we have too is to use ValFest as an opportunity to expand the judge network. I think we're gonna try to do that as well. Looking forward to trying to do that. Again, our big goal this year is what can we do to improve the infrastructure of FOW and get it talked about in different circles. Like that's kind of the overall goal of 2025. And I think we can do it. Whether that be new types of content, new recording teams, encouraging others, helping others to make more content, give them a voice, doing FowFest stuff, anything we can is awesome.
I'm going to swing for the fences and say I want a 25% increase in GP attendance.
I think that's great. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see every single GP. I'd love to see every single GP break 80 players. Like that's my swing for the fences thing, and then FowFest break 100.
No, I want FowFest to bring 150. Other ones to bring 100.
I don't have enough stuff for 150 players.
You heard it here first, folks. Jeremy doesn't have enough stuff for 150 players. Go make Jeremy go broke.
No.
Easy.
Step.
Easy. Chaotic neutral mode activated. Make Jeremy go broke.
Step.
Tupin
Hi, Tupin. We're talking about Force Wheel 2025. And I've got the gloves back on because that's happened.
Honestly, that's probably the best way to describe this podcast. Hello, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, that's a solid
It's me.
one.
I'm here making sure that there's chaos happening.
Yeah,
that's why Jeremy brings me on. I'm fun.
That's true. That's why you're here.
This is our New Year's resolutions for Force of Will 2025.
Yeah.
The old year, looking forward to the new year. And so that's yeah.
Let's talk as people continue to share here in New Mexico, there's nothing, not even card stores. You envy those who can at least try it. Lucaru should get plugged into the online league series, which is a free online locals that you can play in on Discord.
Friday nights, baby.
On Wednesday nights is ABC. Thursday nights is ABC. Friday nights is the competitive constructed. It's free to enter. You can play via Untap, Tabletop Simulator, or via webcam. So definitely get involved in that for sure. Same for you, Ricardo. You get involved that way. If someone wants to put a Discord link to the OLS in the chat right now, they can certainly do that.
I'm talking about Mexico as if it's also New Mexico.
No.
Alejandro, come on, man. No.
Thanks, Shimpo. There he is, always doing the good work.
Yeah, Shimpo's the best. I love
so
Shimpo. Wow.
Let's talk about the differences between Paradox and Wanderer. I think for me, the big element of that conversation is what gets reprinted into Masterpiece 2. I think that is the core distinguishing factor between Wanderer and New Frontiers. Although I do have a question for Alejandro right now.
Ooh. Sorry,
And
Paul, you
if he can clarify, you live in Brazil.
Come
Welcome.
to Brazil for some bill.
Hi.
Good to have you.
Wow.
So I do have a question.
Yeah,
So
it's just like that.
specifically, I'm questioning Alejandro with regards to the Memoria packs that are in box toppers, specifically related to the champion cards. Currently, Alejandro, correct me if I'm wrong, if a box topper pack has a Memoria pack card, if the set that Memoria pack is involved in was included with is a part of Paradox format, then the Memoria pack cards are a part of Paradox format. My question is, does that include the champion cards? Which would be Fossil Girl, number 13, Perfect Loki. Like, because those are specifically like World's Champs promo arts, I'm questioning if those fall in the same line as being Memoria pack cards, because the Memoria pack cards are supposed to be like reprints of staples. So that's a big question.
Lucario, I do not have cards at the moment either.
Kishu,
and I play on Untap.
Kishu, you staying away from that? Why? It's free, and it's really casual, and people are fun. There's like, you get promos just for playing, and it costs you no dollars to enter. Cal too,
$0
doing
free
good
cards.
Work.
Cal is the man. Cal's the best person in the entire world, and I love him so much.
A Masterpiece set is like a commemorative set of the game. So Masterpiece 1, Pilgrim Memories, was a staple new support. No card that doesn't have a set code or is included in the floor rules regulations in the set, like Vacus, is part of the set. Okay. I don't really know what that necessarily, and that should include memory collections, champion cards, any kind of reprint, etc. Okay, we need to get clarification. So that's, Alejandro, that's really important for you to take back to the company as we get closer to Paradox format. If you could, like, we need to really, really define.
We need some clarification
on what Memoria pack reprints, specifically box topper Memoria packs, and how they play into Paradox format, because that does shape the conversations pretty significantly. So that needs to be clarified. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Alejandro, I'm also under the assumption that if a card was errataed and was released in a Memoria pack, but is still a part of the Paradox clusters, it is legal.
Right. When an article is made, defining Paradox format on the website, these things need to be well explained. And then Kishu, because you need to learn to play before you even play. Absolutely, go check out our how to play video here on the channel. It's a great resource for you. But anyway, let's talk about pod that should be legal. Yes. So if a reprint errata is already part of the sets that is in Paradox format, that at least is covered.
Awesome.
Anyway, so I mean, because right now Masterpiece 1 brought us a lot of core staples that don't exist inside of the current Paradox era, which is like Garion, Lorite, Dark Alice Rabbit Princess, Mikage Rhea, Fiola, Magic Stone Research Institute, Gatekeeper of Elsavaria, Cheshire Cat, that kind of stuff, right? So then if you think about what Masterpiece 2 might bring, if Masterpiece 2 doesn't have Lorite, Garion, Dark Alice, like that alone drastically changes the format, because you also won't have things like Fairer Spell. You won't have things like what are some other like major ones that are still played? Split Lumia, Priscia Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
Like those won't exist in the Suya. Like Look of Corruption, that kind of stuff. Like those won't exist in Paradox format. And then the game looks very different. Like very, very different than Wanderer in that regard. So I'm very curious to see how that plays out. What's Paradox format? Is there a video in the channel about it? Okay, Ricardo, sorry, apologies there. Ricardo, I'm going to point you and encourage you to go watch our How to Start Playing in 2025 video here on the channel, because it is going to cover a lot of these questions and provide you with super helpful links to get connected to database resources that will then help you answer these questions. Like we just released that last week. It is a fantastic resource. I really recommend you go check that out. It will answer pretty much everything. Or if it doesn't, have a link in its description linking you to the thing that will. So that's what I would recommend there. Persephone, losing Persephone, because we won't have dual cluster. We already talked about Garion. But like the primary only real green 1-drop cancel becomes Memory of Worlds and Command Point, which is only for 2 or more. No, specifically 2 cost.
Sword of Progression.
We will still have Sword of Prague. That's true.
Still have Sword of Progression. If these are legal,
Number 13,
we will have Conflict of Memory and Soul.
I doubt that
is
legal.
If that is illegal, it'll be illegal. But if it is legal, we'll have that. And then we'll also have we'll still have Mirror.
We'll still have Mirror. We'll still have again, if that championship,
Fossil Girl in the City.
We'll have Fossil Girl. If that champion number 13 is a card, that's the other thing too. Is if those so that's why I'm curious about the champion cards, right? Because the champion cards would allow us to have Lorite still. We'd keep Lorite, Garion, Fairer Spell, number 13, Kaguya, DBV Kaguya. Like a lot of those ones are those champ cards are like green cancels, and so I'm like,
yeah.
I kind of would be okay with those not being part of Paradox format to really make it feel super different. And then I'm very curious to see what gets printed into like Masterpiece 2. Like cards that I can think of that I would love to see reprinted into Masterpiece 2 to be usable would be things like Oborozuki. Right? Like I'd love to see Oborozuki. I wouldn't mind another Gatekeeper of Elsevaria print. I think I'm going to check here real quick. I think there's, when it talks about Masterpiece, future releases, Timeless Eclipse, events, World Grand Prix. That was the details of what we were given. News, regulations, errata article.
Oh, we still have Cascade.
Cascade? Yeah, for sure.
Cascade and Viola.
Gonna look.
And Zaki's a new player.
Really quick, I'm gonna look up. The official video here. That was the end of. Here, good old Rio. Mori Collection 6. That was those.
Oh
things.
yeah, and Hanada's cancel.
So things that we've been shown already have been planning on being reprinted into Masterpiece 2 are the 3 Beast Warriors, like the 3, which is like Edition Hate, Daji, Dante Enters the Game of Gods, Lucifer, Oborozuki. Shooting Star of Light is a little bit strange. Hide Shooting Star of Light because she's technically in Hero Cluster already. So that means if she's in Masterpiece 2, like should be in that twice. But like any of the stuff from Game of Gods, like Dante Enters the Game of Gods, um, Daji, Three Beast Warriors. Like if any of the Game of Gods stuff gets reprinted into Masterpiece 2, not a Memoria pack, and therefore is still legal, or is in the Memoria pack and is therefore still legal, would be really interesting to include in the format. So I'm curious how that plays out. You know, again, there's questions to be answered about Paradox, but I'm excited to see what that does. And then I'm really curious to see if Paradox format brings back old gardeners, gives them an easier on-ramp to come back. Like if I get to see Mike Rance at an in-person event in 2025 and he's competing, I'll be like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Whoa.
I'll have to read a lot of cards. Mucho texto, mi braino.
You got it though. You only have to deal with 2 clusters worth of cards. That's significantly less than 6.
Yeah, but one of them's like seven sets.
Dual cluster though is like probably arguably like dual cluster is when we had the most text on cards.
Oh yeah, true. Obrazuki exists, and that card has just like it's like a peer-reviewed essay.
The
that also gets 3
Olympians,
things.
the Olympians in general, right?
I don't want to hear anything about Olympians ever again. Oh my god, those things are stupid. Why were they made?
I hope to see Mike playing any of the Luminaries in a GP. Excuse me, the Luminaries? We're talking about
7
Alejandro.
luminaries.
Mercurius?
Alejandro, are you?
We're talking Mercurius
Alejandro's
here?
Mars.
Alejandro is making
Soul.
me question things right now. Ooh.
What if we got the other luminaries as rulers eventually?
Hey,
That'd be nice.
Ricardo,
Listen,
I don't know why I remembered
Hey,
this, if it's a
Interessante.
memory, but I'm not mistaken, Fow made a collab card with Vanguard. They did.
They did.
They did. So, Magic Stone of Moonshade. Hold on, I have them. 1 second. Hold on, I'm going to roll away real quick.
Okay. Bye, Jeremy. I'm just gonna say Alejandro.
Breaking things.
Que interesante. I'm very excited to see what you mean. Because I know you have an in, and I'm very excited to see what you mean.
I have a deck that's only using 2 Moonshades, so I used both of my Vanguard Moonshades.
Minha! Hi, Minha! Ah, he's got the cards that are, what are they?
They're Moonshades.
They're Moonshades. Okay,
Magic Stone of Moonshades.
cool.
But
I
they're
like the
Vanguard
anime
ones.
guy that says these are definitely Moonshades.
Yeah.
Babatunde! Hi, Babatunde!
Hi, buddy.
Oh my gosh. I miss you, friend.
Nikisu, yeah. Card 5 Vanguard.
Thinking about if Paradox having a tighter card pool means sideboarding would be easier. We're certainly going to lose a lot of really good sideboard tech in
You'll have to
in
think about.
Paradox
You'll have to
format.
really think about what's like the real thing to put it in the
No,
other deck.
you'll have Shiva, but no Rogue Spectator. That will be gone out of
Yep.
Paradox format, right? Unless it gets
Only
reprinted
there
into
were another
Masterpiece 2.
card we could replace Rogue Commando with.
You mean
No.
Fire Pit Trap? Serves a little bit
Yeah.
different format. In fact, Paradox will make the stone decks pretty different. I don't
Of course it
actually
will.
agree.
If-
I don't
if-
actually
if
agree with
Moonshade's
that. We'll
No,
lose.
wait. If Moonshade's gone, maybe.
So the problem is we still have all 10 original dual stones and all 10 original pain stones in Hero Cluster. So
Ah, it's fine.
and the new tri
No
stones.
Moonshade is happy. New
And the
Moonshade
nature.
makes me happy.
Um,
Moonshade is a crutch. Anybody who relies
Once,
on it is not a true gamer.
Once Masterpiece 1 rotates into Masterpiece 2, yes, we will lose Moonshade.
that's true. We will lose Moonshade. And then there's a Vanguard card that has the Kaguya Moonshade art on it.
Oh.
It was a cross collab that they did over in Japan.
One sec, we'll look it up.
Yes, and the countdown stones.
The countdown stones.
Do
Do they have their original? Did the dual stones have their original set codes in the reprints? Because that's, I mean, if that's the case, if they have different set codes, then yeah, you're right. We do lose the original dual stones. I don't pay attention to set codes. 3 people telling me that they had the original set codes, so I'm wrong. Wonder if Fow would do any more collabs.
Right,
Some of the
nerd.
Vanguard players at my shop had their first time hearing about Fow through the collab. I mean, it would be awesome. a better collab than
Vin 2?
Vin 2 or Ghost in the Shell.
Oh god. Yeah. Ricardo, be careful what you ask for in terms of a full set of collab.
yeah,
Because
for
we got
sure.
Ghost in the Shell, which was bad, and Vin Golf 2, which was worse.
I'd argue that honestly, Ghost of the Shell was worse. No, Ghost of the Shell was worse.
No.
Ghost of the Shell was worse.
Ghost of the Shell gave us truck, Jeremy.
Vingolf 2 gave us Class G's
live.
tank. Vingolf 2 gave us Class G's tank and Prego
That's
Lady OTK. Excuse me, you blasphemer. You blasphemer. Vingolf 2 gave us Prego Lady OTK, which far surpasses Truck from Ghost in the Shell. You
Robert
should
Green,
be
Vingolf,
ashamed
Vin
of
2.
yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It does have Prego Lady. I'm a blasphemer.
You should
I'm
be
bad.
ashamed.
I'm so bad.
Grovel on your knees to the preggy lady.
Oh, Martha Lipponen, I'm sorry. I will OTK with you once again.
So, I mean, with all the new Glorious support, Mike, you could try.
Don't tempt me.
I'll tempt you.
Don't give me that hope. Wait, we're getting Lapis Cluster support. Does that mean that in Paradox format we're going to lose a whole bunch of cards, but also get Glorious and the Mask and everything?
So here's the question. The question is, we joked about this earlier. What if they ban Broken Mask and release Repaired Mask? So like they ban Broken Mask and then they give her a new card being like a only can be cheated into play if you're Glorious, doesn't cantrip, doesn't remove races mask. So it doesn't remove races.
We're putting like 5 band-aids on a broken arm here, man. Come on.
Listen, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying that would be funny.
Jeremy's just making like reworking protocol with different steps. It's great.
The lore ban of the mask was fixed. It's just a different card.
Yeah.
We banned the broken mask because Glorious has the real mask now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
But if Glorious
mask
has the
is so bad now.
So a
Glorious
different
has
mask.
the fixed mask. But if the Glorious has the fixed mask, then why would Glorious need to take off the mask to become Faria? Why wouldn't Faria just stay as Glorious the bro with the fixed mask?
Yeah, exactly. Done. Okay.
But then you don't get to Prego TK somebody by flipping her over.
And then
Jimmy,
on
Think
that
about the
note,
lore.
we're gonna close it out here. No feature match for us this week. We've been spending the holidays focusing on some other stuff. Obviously, we'll be back next week with a feature match featuring Gnome. If you have joined the channel as a member, you should have seen the video today. That was our rework ruler rumble with Turbo Ramp Welser. Spoiler alert, it's pretty damn fun. I actually really enjoyed the Welser rework when you combo it with some of the new cards that were printed. It's a lot of fun to play. So check that out. We'll have the deck profile and like post with our analysis for non-members later this week. But if you want to see the feature match showing that off, you can join the channel as a member right now and go watch it along with the other rework ruler rumbles. We're going to find out what we're going to do in 2024 since we're pretty caught up on the rework rulers at this point. What we're going to do for those member only like bonus matches. So, if you've got some thoughts of that, leave it in the comment section down below because we want to keep that up as some bonus for our members. But that's it for us here. So we hope you all have a wonderful last 48 hours of 2024, and we'll see you all in 2025. So until then, this has been myself, DMO73, and I have been joined as always by Mike Rance.
All's now smashed. Jeremy, after calling me out for the Vinogolf 2 is a pass.
That works for me. And Paul Reisman.
Smash burger, never mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Class dismissed, everybody. See you next year.